เดี๋ยวเดินหา Do you think you have more time? I can move to somewhere else in my like
Yes.
5 or 10 minutes จะไปในหมู่บ้านแป๊บหนึ่งอาจจะดีกว่านี้
รอ
แป๊บ
ได้
หนึ่ง
ค่ะ
นะ
พี่
ประมาณ
เจน
10 นาที
Okay I can wait
ครับมันลำบากมาก
ก่อนอื่นขอบคุณที่ให้เกียรติมาพูดคุยกันใน English Fit and Firm นะคะขอเท้าความไปตั้งแต่สมัยที่ส้มรู้จักพี่โจนครั้งแรกเลยตั้งแต่ 2011 แล้วก็มีโอกาสได้ดู TED Talk ของพี่โจนตั้งแต่เห็นครั้งแรกก็ประทับใจแล้วก็แชร์คลิปไปให้เพื่อนๆดู
เขามาชวนไปเขาจัดที่เชียงใหม่ทีเนี้ยเขาหาคนไทยไม่ได้แต่ว่า TEDx ที่จัดในเมืองไทยแต่ว่ามีแต่ฝรั่งคุยเขาก็เลยมาขอผมก็หนักใจมากเพราะว่าเขาอยากจะให้พูดทุกเรื่องในเวลาแค่ไม่เกิน15 นาทีอะไรทำนองก็เลยหนักใจแต่ว่าก็มั่วไปได้เรื่อยๆอยู่
แล้วตอนนั้นใช้เวลาเตรียมตัวยังไงคะก่อนที่จะขึ้นไปพูดได้ขนาดนั้น
จริงๆแล้วไม่ได้เตรียมครับชีวิตผมไม่เคยเตรียมอะไรเลยผมก็พูดไปเรื่อยๆ แม้แต่ทำ YouTube ทุกวันเนี้ยผมก็ไม่ได้เตรียมคือขุดแปลงผักเสร็จปุ๊บมีเวลาว่างก็ตั้งโทรศัพท์ขึ้นแล้วก็จัดการเลยแล้วก็ตัดต่อด้านนั้นแล้วก็จบไปเลยอย่างเงี้ยเป็นแบบชาวบ้านมากๆเลยคิดอะไรก็ทำมันนั้นอยากสนใจอะไรก็ทำมันนั้นไปเรื่อยๆถ้าเตรียมไปแล้วเนี่ยเวลาพูดมันจะไม่เหมือนที่เตรียมเลยแล้วจะไปเตรียมทำไมในเมื่อเตรียมแล้วเวลาพูดจริงๆมันก็ไม่ได้ไปตามนั้นมันก็ไหลไปได้เรื่อยๆ
ก่อนหน้าที่จะขึ้นไปเวทีอะค่ะปกติมีทักษะเรื่องการพูดในที่ชุมชนอยู่แล้วไหมคะหรือว่าจัดการกับความประหม่ายังไง
ปกติเนี่ยก่อนทำบ้านดินเนี่ยผมจะไม่เคยพูดต่อหน้าคนเลยผมจะอายมากอายที่จะพูดกับคนโดยเฉพาะคนที่เราไม่รู้จักไม่คุ้นเคยมาก่อนเนี่ยจะเขินอายเป็นอย่างยิ่งทำให้พูดไม่ออกในการทำบ้านดินเนี่ยทำให้เราได้ค่อยๆอธิบายไปตามสิ่งที่เราทำมาการอธิบายตามสิ่งที่เราได้ทำมาเนี่ยก็เลยทำให้รู้สึกว่าไม่รู้สึกอายที่จะอธิบายสิ่งที่เรารู้เราก็เลยได้พูดมาเรื่อยๆตามแนวทางนี้ฉะนั้นสิ่งที่พูดก็คือสิ่งที่เคยทำมามันก็เลยเป็นอะไรที่ง่าย
In one of your TED Talks videos, you mentioned about how electricity and television brought about so much change in your village. You said you never felt poor and lacking until your neighbor bought a TV and you couldn't afford it. You moved into Bangkok to work in a big city to earn and gain more. Right now, what has internet or social media done to your life?
Actually, I'm not very good about technology at all. I need to rely on somebody around me a lot, especially my sons. When I cannot use the phone, I always ask my son to help. I can use some, but I'm not very good with it with technology. Maybe I'm too old, but it make me understand that things change so quick. So we need to catch up with the change. I learned quite a lot lately from the how to use the internet. But I did not use much internet in my life. Even I do the YouTube channel, but I never watch YouTube myself. So my YouTube video is quite bland. It's like nothing interesting much, just very simple and not a lot of technique to add in there. I think it's a good way to connect with many people.
Yes.
And it changed what I'm doing a lot. Because in the past, before we have internet, before we have iPhone, smartphone, it's very hard to communicate with the people in the big scale, in a macro level. So when we do seed saving, there are not many people interested about seeds from us. We saving indigenous seeds and we give to people for free. The first few years when we have no internet, nobody wants seeds from us. But when we have the internet, we can speak out more, and then more and more people want to get seed from us now. So
no connection from your side.
So internet create a big impact for us now. I start with growing vegetable first. When I got vegetable, I got more than 50 variety of vegetable. Only 3 months I have enough food to feed 6 people. Food is so easy to find. Humans should not be hungry on this earth. I enjoy it a lot. And then I think about to have a house. I built a bamboo hut at the first time. But after many years later, I have a chance to go to the States. And then I visit earthen house in Taos Pueblo in New Mexico. And then I love it. I came back and I started to build earthen house, the first one in my area. And I found that it's so easy. We built a house 2 hours per day, and 3 months I got a house, very stable house. Why I have to work so much? When after I built earthen house, more and more people interested about earthen house. So I have to travel for many years in the whole country. And after a few years, I think I don't like building. I want to stop building. And now many people learn how to build with earth already. So I should not spend more time on this thing. But the most important thing is I noticed that the seeds disappear from the earth every day, never come back. Every day, the food disappear. I observed from my life. When I was kid, we eat more than 100 variety of vegetable per day, per years. We eat more than 100 varieties of fish per years. But now, the whole country, people eat only morning glory, kale, cabbages, and Chinese cabbages, tomato, eggplant. That's all we eat. We eat the same thing over and over. And then people, the whole country, eat one variety of chicken. People, the whole country, eat one variety of pork. So this is crisis. When we eat less variety but higher amount, we'll have more problem in our life. We have bad health. We got more sickness with no germ now. That's because of our food is low quality. And when we eat only chicken, eggs, and pork, that's why we need to cut more tree, more forest. We burn them to grow corn. So it causes a lot of PM 2.5, cause of a lot of environmental problem all over the world because we eat less varieties. And then I think this is the most serious crisis in the world is the food. But the food come from seed. But when we have no seed, how can we get food? That's helped me to come back and contemplate it long time. I think the last of my life, I want to do seed saving because I have a son. So he grew up. When I was a kid, I ate a lot of varieties of vegetable, fish, and everything. But when I older, the variety of food decreased very fast. And now people eat only chicken, eggs, pork, and rice. 4 things every day, many years, they eat the same thing. So when my son grew up, what is he going to eat? He maybe eat only a few pills per day. I don't think that is security. I don't think that is joy in our life. So saving seed is the most important thing in our life now. That's why I think I want to stop building. I want to stop things and I want to start to do seed saving now.
And that's one of your books too that you write about งานเก็บเมล็ดพันธุ์คืองานสุดท้ายในชีวิตผม How do you collect seeds? You take it from the fruit itself and you dry it and keep it?
We need to travel a lot to look for local seed or indigenous seeds because the seed of the food that we have now 90% is hybrid seed. You cannot save the seed anymore because they're going to change hybrid or F1. Hybrid is like when you have 2 kind of papaya. One papaya is long but not sweet, but another papaya is short but sweet. You want the long and sweet, so you mix these 2 things together. The first fruit after you mix them, they call hybrid or F1. So when you bring it to plant, most of them will be long and sweet. But if you keep the seed from the F1 to grow again as F2, it's gonna change a lot. You cannot grow for commercial anymore. So that's why people have to use hybrid seed all the time. And hybrid seed were controlled by a few companies the whole world right now. So our food is in the hand of a few companies. So we have no security at all right now.
Wow.
So that's why I feel like we need to travel a lot, looking for local seed or indigenous seed, bring it back, collect them, and save them, and support people to eat them more, grow them more, and support new generation to develop them, to make them into new varieties. If we have no local seed or indigenous seed, we cannot create a new varieties. So it's hard work. When we grow them, we need to let them have fruit and ripe or very old, and then we can take the seed, clean it very well, and we save it. And most of the seed, especially vegetable seeds, you cannot keep it longer than 1 year. It will
Right.
expire. It will not sprout anymore. So we need to grow often. So it's a lot of work for us to do this part.
Wow.
But we think it's important to do. Pollinate them and select them for at least 7 generations. You will get the new varieties. So it's a lot of work. So we haven't developed to that point yet. Now we in the level of collecting, and then we support other people to develop it. So we cannot do it alone. We need to get help from many people.
My friends watched your video before and they passed me some questions. Many of them wondered if you get reached out by people during COVID crisis, people who are worried because of the insecurity in their life, job. Has there been many people who try to reach out to you and ask what they should do?
During the COVID in the first time, we have so many people came to our training. Everywhere is full. We have a lot of training spot in Thailand, in Mae Tang, Chiang Mai, in San Patong, in Map Uang, Chonburi, in Yasothon, many center that we have. It's always full at that time because when people left Bangkok and they have no hope in their life because they were trained that they need to go get a job to make money. But when they no job, no money, what is solution? So people just focus on self-reliance or sufficiency economies. More and more people came to the training to learn about self-reliance, to learn about how to grow things, how to build their own house, how to do their own daily needs like a soap, shampoo, toothpaste, fish sauce, soy sauce, yogurt, and anything. So when we learn this thing, it makes their life so easy and they feel more secure. Now it's only a few months. Many people can grow their own food. Many people say that, oh, thanks for COVID, because I can come back to be with my family. And then I come back to my farm, my land. Here's my home. So they can grow a lot of vegetable. They have pond with a lot of fish. We have vegetable, we have fruit tree, and we have their kids running around. They just play with kids. So this is life. What they did in the past is not life. It's only robot working seriously in the city. They lost their life completely. But now they feel like they thanks for COVID. They bring them back to the real life. So they enjoy a lot. That's why we are so busy after COVID. Now we did a lot of training all the time, everywhere. I have to travel every day. Or now they lock down, so I have to be here. That's why I have a lot of time now. Yeah.
Lucky me. So
Yeah.
people who come to your center for the training, self-reliant skill training, what kind of job they had before they come to learn of these
Number
skills?
one is people who work with internet, IT people. This is number one. The second is people who work at normal business. And the third is doctor, architect, or engineer. So this group quite a lot. And then air hostess, quite many of them too. So not many farmers come. Mainly city people, almost every career. Government official too. So there are different, very diversity of people. They want to change their life. I think people get tired of their own way of living because they work hard, but they don't know when is the end of it. because they keep working and working and they're exciting with the money that they made. And then at the end, they're getting older and older. They think back. They haven't do anything that they want to do in their life. Many people just gave up their business. Like one guy who has gold shop. He has more than 8 gold shop in Bangkok. He just gave to his family, his relative. He quit everything. He came to the training and he bought a piece of land and he started his life in the way he wanted to be. So I can see more and more people turn to live like this. I feel like most of people, they can see that money is not secure anymore. The money system can collapse anytime, any day. We don't know because nothing go up high and never come down. Everything always go up and come down.
Right.
So the money system is go up to the highest point, and now it have to go back to the earth again. So when the money collapse, people who have a lot of money saving for security, what will they do? People think about this more and more, and people start to see it's more unsecure with money because you can see inflation is rise up very fast every year. So that means it's not secure. But the value of the natural resources, the value of food, the value of clean water, the value of trees, the value of herbs and anything on the land, everything natural, the value is high, rise up all the time. It never go down. That's why many people start to chain money into natural resources more and more now because it's more real.
Back to when you were in Bangkok again, did you also study a lot? Because you speak very fluent English. How did you start learning English? You said you grew up in a village and then just went straight to Bangkok to work as a security guard and waiter.
I have a bad luck with education because I study primary school in my village. And after that, my parents cannot afford to send me to the school. So I need to ordain as a novice. So I need to learn informal education. They call การศึกษาผู้ใหญ่
Right.
But there's informal education school in the temple, there's no teacher because there's no budget to hire a teacher. So the novice has to read everything by themselves and take the exam, go take the exam and they pass it. And then after that, I went to Bangkok. I went to การศึกษาผู้ใหญ่ โรงเรียนการศึกษาผู้ใหญ่ It's like another kind of informal education in the high school level. And we don't have a good teacher too because teacher, someday they come, someday they don't want to come. So it seemed like I learned by myself quite a lot. Mostly, I never feel like I have the good teacher in my life. And after that, I went to university. I went to university, but I never go to the class. I did not go to the class. Open university. I read book at home and go to take the exam, but I did not finish university. I stopped after 3 years. So my English, I learned in the way of Thai people learn, like read a lot of grammars. Until I was 28 years, I haven't speak English yet because I read books, but I don't know how they pronounce it. So I start to speak English when I quit university and I travel. And then during I travel, I married with American women who can speak Thai. So she speak Thai with me. And at the end, she want me to go to the States, to America. But I feel like I don't want to live in America because I feel like America is the most undeveloped country in the world. I don't want to be there because people have to work hard and have very hard life. They have very bad food. But here is heaven for me. I don't want to go there because I have the best food in the world here. I grow my own food. I have fish in the pond. I have everything. So but she want me to go there. So I went to America for 2 years. But for 2 years, I did not study English there. I worked in the dishwashing room in the restaurant. I cleaned the dish every day, never talk with anybody until I came back home.
ค่ะ
Before I came back home, we have a bike trip from Utah to Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. And then during this trip, we discover Earthen House in New Mexico. We visit for 15 minutes and then I came back home. I start to build Earthen House in Thailand. And after that, more and more people want to learn Earthen House, including foreigner. So there are more foreigner want to learn Earthen House. And the first few years, I need to use hand language a lot to explain things to foreigner who come to learn. And it's easy to teach them to do it, not speak so much. So that's why I learn English every day, but not a lot. But my habit is I'm so shy. I'm not brave enough to speak because I'm afraid that I'm gonna say it wrong.
ค่ะ
But for foreigner, they don't teach me like a Thai people when I speak loud. When my
Right.
loud language came out when I speak Thai, they
Right.
help me. They help me. So I learn. So the way I learn English is like the Sam-law driver or the taxi driver learn English from customer. It's the same thing. So I read a lot of grammar, but I forgot all of them because I never use it. So when I speak, it's many word is wrong. It's not right grammar. Foreigner, they don't care much about that. So I just say whatever. So my English is not good English to learn for me because it's not right. Mostly, there's many mistake in there. It's not correct with grammar or something like that. But it's okay. I just want to communicate with people. Now I did YouTube in English channel. It doesn't mean I want to do it because I can speak English. I want to do it because I want to communicate with people who used to come and learn with me. They can know what is going on with the farm because at Pan at our farm, it's like a big family. The first 7 years, 70% of people who come and learn with us are foreigners. So these people, many thousands of them, they went back home. They start to do something like this. They want to contact. They want to know what's going on here. So if I have channel, they can learn from channel. So that's why I have to do YouTube channel in English. But it's not good to practice English from my channel. So
but I got to learn many vocabulary from your channel too. What do you think is the ideal way or the most practical way for Thai students to learn and use English in a real practical way, not only to do paper test?
If we want to speak English, don't go to the school, normal school. So the easiest way, apply to be WOOF host, WOOF, WOOF host, warm shower. If you like to bike, you apply to be warm shower host. So if you be WOOF host in Thailand, when foreigner want to come to Thailand, they will get your address from the WOOF website and then they will contact you. They will come stay with you for a week or 2 weeks, up to you. So they will work with you. Yeah, you host them. They will work with you for 6 hours per day. But you need to offer them food and accommodation. So they will work for you. So that's where you can learn English easily. You don't need to go to pay money to learn in the special school, very expensive thing. If you have foreigner come and work with you, you do farming, they help you to pull the weed, water the garden, cook together. Yeah, just free labor and play together. Not more than 3 months. You will speak English. And then you can learn more than English because there are many people come from Japan, come from China, come from Europe, come from many countries will come. So it will open your mind about language quite a lot. So there are many things like this in the world right now. We can learn English for free like this.
Right.
Because when you speak every day, when you use every day, that's the way we learn. So if we only read, it's not learning. We have no progress at all. Yeah.
So the key is to apply what we've learned from books into practice, that is difficult, right?
Yeah,
If
it's
we
harder.
if we are only taught to pass exam paper test.
If we start with the grammar, it's harder. But if we start with speaking, it's easier, a lot easier.
เริ่มจากการพูดก่อนแล้วค่อยไปเก็บ grammar ทีหลัง
Mm.
And because I myself used to work in a university teaching English to Thai kids. And each year when the kids graduate, even those major in English, less than 50% can speak, can communicate English properly. And that is sad how things are. What is your message to the Thai people who are learning English almost all their life, but still cannot speak English? They are desperate too, but they are shy. They cannot overcome their fear. What is your message to them or advice to them?
I think the easiest way, try to be with foreigner. That's the easiest thing. You can work with them. You can do anything with them. When we work together, we will learn very quick. Like if we cook together, you will know the word in cooking easily, very fast. You will remember very well. It's not like we try to remember from dictionary, from books like that. If you remember that, you forget it. When I was in the secondary school, I tried to memorize dictionary. I tear out one piece of dictionary every day. I will try to remember all of it in one day. I can recite all of them. I did that.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Not very long. A few years later, I forgot everything.
Because you didn't get to use what you memorized.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. I studied Sanskrit. I studied Sanskrit for 2 years. I can read Sanskrit language when I was novice. But after I disrobe for 2 years, I cannot even write my name. I cannot read anything after that. So this is the most important thing to think about education. If we learn just to remember, don't do it. It's better. Waste our time. But if we learn to use it, I think we have to do it this way. So if we really need to use English, I think it's good to have foreigner to stay with you. If you have space, you can have volunteer come stay with you. Have some friends stay with you. And that's the way you learn. It's easier and cheaper in this way. Another way is organize some activity. Like if you're in the school or in the university, it's good to have the camp, English camp. Travel together, go camping together, go swimming together, or go hiking together, or something like that. So people can be together more. I think it's easier to learn, because learn language is not only about language. We need to learn culture, learn tradition of those people too. Because only language, you cannot understand their tradition. You will misunderstand in the communication easily.
Wow, I think that's something that has to be designed from the classroom, from the one who has the power to make change.
I think the education system, the school or university, they did not decide to make people understand things. They decide people to memorize as much as they can. Because if you memorize many information in your head, you will have less space for imagination.
Right.
If you have more space for imagination, you will think more. You will think different from normal people. So that's what they don't want you to be. They don't want you to think. That's why you need to learn a lot of things that you will not use it in the education system.
Right.
You need to learn many kind of rocks, granite, a lot of marble, a lot of things. You learn a lot, but who will use that in our life? You learn about the wind, you learn about everything. So this thing you don't need to learn in university. You just watch YouTube, watch some documentary. In 1 hour, you know more than you learn 1 year in the school.
Right.
But they force you to learn because they want you to accumulate more memory. So to learn, to use, we need to get out of the education system that we have now. Create a new system. That's way it will be faster, cheaper, easier, and more effective.
So are you saying that parents or students should not rely so much on educational system. They should organize their own way of learning, not only
Yeah.
like learning in class is not enough. I mean, there are people who are able to read, to explain grammar rules in English, but they're not able to communicate. They can't even talk about simple topics because they can't speak, but they know how to read. They understand vocabulary.
Yeah, I think I observe from many homeschool kids. Many homeschool kids, they did not learn in the system at all. They learn outside. They learn from YouTube. They learn from the media, and they speak so well. Many of them, when they speak English, but if I did not see them, I don't think they are Thai. They are so perfect. New generation, they're so fast about learning language.
Right.
So this part, it helped me to understand that we waste so much time in education system, almost 20 years to finish university. That's too long. That's too much. So we waste a lot of human resource in our life, in our country. So education should not take that long. English, I saw some people who came to stay with me at the farm. They finished primary school and then they forgot everything that they learned. They cannot even write and read. They came to the farm, they cook, they do things, but because of the farm, there's a few foreigners there all the time. So only 6 months, 7 months, that person can teach foreigner to do cooking. So that thing, I think it's important to think about new way of learning, especially language. Why we need to learn English from kindergarten until university? That's too long. But if we focus on English only 6 months, you learn it. You can speak it. That's good. You can use it after that. So 6 months, you can have a camp, 1 week camp or 1 month camp, or every month you have 1 week camp, in English camp. Bring Thai kids, exchange with American kids or European kids. They can go together, go to the village, go to study something together like that. So they will learn so much and so fast. And many kids that they learn like this, their accent is so perfect. It's not like me. I speak broken English because I did not learn like them. I learned when I'm getting old. So my tongue is not easy to train it anymore. So I think it's important to think about new way, new technique of learning. It's not just sitting and listening in the classroom. Classroom have to be less and less and less. Should not be more than 20% in the classroom. We need to spend more than 80% outside of the classroom. That's the way of learning. I think it's not only English, every subject. We need to learn outside the classroom.
Right. Wow. And I think in Thailand when it comes to English, especially, we try to limit the mistakes. When kids learn it, we will try to make kids make the least mistakes as possible. So people try to really avoid making mistakes. So when they make mistakes, they just feel discouraged, disheartened, and shy. So they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, it makes the kids more shy because they don't want to feel bad. They don't want to feel like they make mistake. So they don't try to speak. That's hurt them more. It's not good for their learning process at all. So education should not have the exam. We don't need the exam. The examination is not useful for people at all. It's just useful for the education system that you can evaluate them. But it's the useless evaluation because you cannot use that exam to judge the kid that how far you go. Because it's kids, they have different talents, different skill in different way. So the examination is very useless. It hurt the kid more than be useful for the kids.
I remember the saying, you can't make fish climb the trees and you can't make a monkey swim or something like you can't. So you can't use one thing to be the standard and evaluate different people and make the ranking. I think I have learned a lot. I have gained insight by talking to you for less than 1 hour คุยกับพี่โจได้ทั้งเรื่องข้อคิดทางภาษาเรื่องของชีวิตแล้วก็การหาความสุขได้จาก simplicity เชื่อว่าวิดีโอนี้นะคะจะเป็นประโยชน์ให้กับทุกคนที่มาเข้าชมโอกาสหน้านะคะถ้าเกิดพี่โจมีเวลาอีกก็อยากจะรบกวนเวลาอีกรอบหนึ่งนะคะจะได้คุยกันได้แบบ quality content มากๆเลยค่ะ
ได้เที่ยวหน้าจะหาที่มีคลื่นดีๆนิด
แนวคิดได้ประโยชน์หลายทางโดยเฉพาะไลฟ์สไตล์การใช้ชีวิตคันสั้นตัวนี้ก็บ่รบกวนแล้วค่ะเป็นชั่วโมงแล้วขอบคุณเด้อค่ะที่มารับงาน
ค่ะขอบคุณหลายๆจัดรายการให้คนได้เรียนรู้นำ
ขอบคุณหลายๆค่ะอ้าย
ครับสวัสดีครับ
ค่ะ